pens.
There are pens.
You like
So,
translate this.
in our remaining 20 minutes, do you guys know the worship song, You Are My All in All?
Nope.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of you guys a piece of paper, and you guys are going to, A, write down the lyrics, because though we have multiple printers in our house, we cannot get one of them to work, so you guys have to write down the lyrics. So I lovingly copy them for you. Okay. Lovingly, that's what it goes. Okay, there's 3. And what I'm going to have you guys do is go through and work on. Okay, so when you copy the lyrics, what you might want to do is just like how I do it on here, so you can write all of them on like half of your paper and then do your ASL translation on that side. Or sometimes when I'll be writing ASL, then I will write the English and then leave like a space or 2 lines or whatever, so that you can write something under it that way. So whatever way you guys want to do it, but just so you don't have to like copy it a 3rd time. So this is going to be the first verse, the chorus, the 2nd verse, and the chorus. Okay. So, in the last couple minutes, then I want you guys, you can talk about it as a group, you can talk about it as pairs or however you want to do it. But at the same time, then you are each going to have your own individual translation for it. So if yours is the same as somebody else, it's awesome. If not, then you can totally copy from somebody else or have your own. You guys do one too. No, I'm going to make you guys bring them back, and then you guys are each going to sign them.
There you go.
Anybody else need a pen? You guys good? Okay. So how about I do this? I will put on the song so you guys can, oh, yeah, hold on. We can do this. I'll go back to it.
Thanks.
Okay. Not the biggest fan of Nicole Norderman, but she had the only decent version on YouTube, so that's what you get. I probably would, because you only have 15 minutes left. Yeah. Either way, you can write that way or just leave a space. However. Just whatever works for you. Okay, so in that much time she's gone through here, so you don't want to add like 50 signs for each thing you're saying, because you have to keep up with the song. So remember that. guys think? It's a good song, yeah. I love it, especially this one, because it has a lot of things in it that have, like, precious jewel. You know, like, he sees this as that way, like he sees this as that much value. Is he talking about jewel? Do you want to assign jewel and explain the value it has? Do you want to do a completely different concept with the same concept that we're valued, like a jewel? And there's a lot of, like, ways that you could go with it, as well as, like, the fact that there's a lot of simplicity to it as well, but there's a lot of depth. So I really like something like this where you guys can, like, really figure out how you want to do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. How about ask me signs that you want to know, and then I will teach you individual signs, and you guys can decide how you want to put them together.
Treasure?
Treasure, okay. So treasure is going to be like you have, okay, remember we have like the sign like buy and store and shopping, things like that. So it's going to be going down on your hand once, and then going up like a whole heap. Treasure. So I think I've seen it hit twice and go up, or once and go up. But then again, like a lot of times whenever I do it with music, then I will kind of like, I try and go with the song. So I try not to be like, I want to like go with the beat. So if there was like treasure and I can like kind of go with it, I would do it twice. But if there's not time, I would go here and go the next thing. So I would fit it to the song that way. Okay? Yeah.
Value.
Value. Okay, so you could do like importance or worth. This is also the sign for like worth or cost. But this is the more like exaggerated, more like intense, like very valuable, really important. Or you have like, oh, the worth. So you get to decide which one that you want to use for that. What else?
Bless.
Bless. Okay, you would go here, and then you'll go out to your non-dominant side that way. So I go here, bless, bless. So this can be like bless you, but this can also be like a blessing. For bless. He blesses someone. What else? Do that one more time.
That's kinda wrong.
Precious. Okay, precious is here. Going down this way. Precious. It's like precious or cherished. Jewel, I've seen diamond. I haven't seen jewel. So yeah, I would just do precious. And what you're going to do is kind of like start with a claw this way, and then you put it against your face here, and then go that way, like to a C. So it's kind of like, almost like a really, kind of like forward E down to an S. Precious that way. Precious, and you could do diamond. You could spell jewel. So, precious.
I think that Lamb of God is obviously it's a name for him. How does that work?
Okay, there's actually a sign for lamb. Okay, so you have like sheep, like if you're referring to the animal sheep. If you go this way, it's lamb, like referring to the Lamb of God. Not like just there were a bunch of lambs that they were taking care of, but like the Lamb of God. So lamb. So you could go lamb and just leave it like that. You could do the Lamb of God. So if I was saying the Lamb of God, then I would go Lamb of God. That way, Lamb of God. Yeah, so it's a little bit different than that, but still similar to it, so yeah. Okay, what else?
Shame?
Shame. Okay, you're going to go here, both of your hands this way, and go forward together. And you have to do it with 2 hands. And then your thumbs are pointed out like that, yeah. Shame. Be ashamed, or shame, shameful. Okay. So what other words?
Dry like that.
Sacrifice. Okay, dry. Yeah, let's give you dry. Dry. Sacrifice is going to be the same as give up or surrender. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. Maybe give up or surrender. What else?
Fool?
Fool. I've seen it as silly. Fool. You could do silly, and then you could spell fool if you wanted to clarify it. You could just leave it as fool this way.
Well, that's not good.
You could do like dumb. Yeah, you could translate it as dumb. You could do fool this way. You could do fool this way. Okay, what else? Takes practice.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other signs you want to know?
If like the concept of rising, or not just like getting up, like, you know, like, because then it says rising up again and bless your name.
like after having fallen down, like to get back up again? Like
Okay.
is that something you can sign out, or like there's a word for it?
You could, okay. So rise up or standing up or get up is a sign you're here, and then you get up. So you can get up this way. So you could say, okay, so if you're talking about being down, so you could say, okay, being down as in, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could say, lie down on my knees in prayer, and then standing up and blessing God, okay? So you could do kneeling this way. A lot of times when I do it during a song, then I go like this. Like kneeling, and then I would stand up again, and then you could do bless from there and explain that whole thing. You could say, when I fail, and I get back up again, like he helps me up again, then I bless him again. Okay, so there's a lot of ways you could do. You could just do straight when I stand up. Okay, but this does have the connotation of like, I'm actually like standing up to my feet. Okay, you could say rising up. You could do it as when like I courage again, when I, this is like, this can be restoration, strengthened, healed, courage, so this could be the idea of like taking up your strength again. When I do that, then I'll bless him again. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that you could go with that depending on what your rendition of rising up is going to be, what you want it to be.
Is that coming back to life?
Okay, so that's more, this one is more, because this can also be used for like resurrection. So like coming to life again. So you could say, so with that concept, then you could say dead, being changed, like spiritually alive. You could do dead, now alive. There's a lot of ways you could do that one. So being brought back to life that way.
My heart fails and you give me breath.
Okay, so say it again.
My heart fails and you give me breath.
Okay, so you could say my heart, and you could say, okay, you have the sign fails, like fail, like a failure. Or you could do like my heart beating and then stops. And then this is a sign for like air or breath or breathing. So you give me breath. And you could kind of like, so you could do you give me like breathing or breath, or you could kind of make it more like a fluid motion just so it looks fair. And so, or like you provide, if you do provide this way. So you provide me a breath. So you could do something like
You
that.
fall down and your breath's knocked out and your heart fails.
So you fall down, or let's see. You could do falling down and getting back up and breathing in, and how we talked about like being restored again, or like being healthy, like taking up courage again. So you can incorporate that. But even the part like your heart fails is like
because in a true fall,
yeah.
you do
Then you have, like, the
sin,
physical, your
and
heart
then you feel
stopping,
the
yeah.
loss. And
So-
so that's what I mean, where your heart fails,
Yeah.
and then you're restored.
But if you
to
said
life.
like your heart fails, then it sounds more like a medical, like your heart stops beating. So you have to decide. So you can't go that way. But are you talking about the physical heart, or are you talking about like the symbolic, like your
Does heart
emotions,
really-
who you
does your
are?
heartbeat really stop in heaven if you do?
Not really. So yeah. So you have to just decide how you want to do it based on that.
What was shame again?
Shame is here. Shame. Shame. Shame.
One for like, I'm thinking of comfort, like reassurance, so that
Okay, this is comfort or comfortable. Comfort or comfortable. Reassurance, I would probably sign like promise again, or being reminded. Being reminded. So the promise, being reminded of that. Anything else? So read through the words again and see if there's anything else that you need to know to be able to sign the song on your own.
Praise.
Praise.
Sign it just like it's written.
You can totally just sign it like it's written and just go through and do the words that way. So that's one option. Yeah. So that is something you can do. You can do that. You can just take exactly all the words and do it exactly in order, exactly like that. Or like you guys did, where you add different describing words, a different way of phrasing the concept. And then, but some of the things at the same time, then you will have to translate out a little bit. So you can do it that way. Praise will be like this. You touch here. You go praise. The other version I've seen of praise that's really cool is here and then like this. So you can go. So you could even do both, like together. But yeah. So depending on how much time you have in the song. If I was doing a song that had praise and it was like a longer time, then I would probably do like praise, or I would do like praise offer, or praise, and then like I'm expressing or singing out that way, or just praise, and then I'd move on to the rest of it, depending on how much time I have. Praise. Okay, anything else? Cool. Okay, so this video will be up online, so you guys can go back and look at the signs if you need to look at any of them again. But what I'm hoping is that you guys next week will bring back your paper and you'll have a translation of your song and practice it if you can. Because I want to see, I'm going to put on the music and then have you guys do your own. It's homework. Yes, for the first time ever, I am assigning homework. Okay, now on top of it, what would be really cool too is if you guys can go through and you can do this, if you can practice your song and that kind of thing, and then like figure out how you want to translate it, and then practice it with the song so that you can like stay up with it and keep the time and that kind of thing, and be comfortable saying it. If you guys can do a video of yourself, if you guys want to like post on YouTube, I would love to connect it to my site and have what other students are doing, and you guys can look at each other's and be able to look at it and be like, oh, that's how they translate that. This is how they did it. So that would be really cool as well, okay? So what I'll do is that all the PowerPoints will be online just like I'm putting them up right now. So whenever you go to ASL2 week 5, then the very first thing that you'll see will be the PowerPoint. So if you go down to the end, then it'll have the words on there. It'll have the exact link that I went to on YouTube that you guys heard in class. It'll have all that on there, okay? And I'm looking forward to seeing what you have for next week. So